blasted sot. She's gotta be 90.
Fresh fruit, vegetables, dried goods for long voyages. I got it all right here. What can I stock you up with today? So you're the captain the old pork's been talking about. Aye, you do look like a fearsome sort. Welcome to Dunnage. What are you having? I'll pour you a double. No one survives the floating hangman, or so they say. It's the ship of the dead. You spy it on the horizon, you flee as fast as you can. Ah, I guess the last concoction I made for him didn't do the trick then. Poor bastard. There's one last tincture recipe I know that won't kill him, probably. It's called Andra's Bile, but I don't have all the ingredients in stock. You'll need a rotten hagfish, an unripened palm stone, and a vial of fire kelp extract. Have him mix it all with a half tankard of grog, and well, hope for the best. The goal is to make him vomit, remember? A rotting hagfish produces a special oil once it reaches a certain level of decay. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh? He'll have stuff dribbling out of both ends for a week. Maybe two, if he's really unlucky. Check the barrels around Lifter's Refuse for the rotten hagfish. You might be able to find unripened palmstone for sale somewhere in Radiant Court. Parker in the King's Coffin usually keeps some fire kelp extract on hand for special purposes. Be careful when dealing with that one.
Looking for work? I've got coin and a few
A repeat customer. I like your type. What can I stock you up with today?
You carry yourself like a person well acquainted with violence. Care to put your skills to use for a good cause? And some coin? It's simple enough. The firebrand commanded by Captain Henqua once plagued the Deadfire. The skill and brutality of Henqua's crew was the stuff of legends. But pirate legends don't live long. Some months ago, an alliance of Neketaka pirate hunters managed to corner the firebrand and sink her off the coast of Tikawara. They confirmed Captain Henqua's death, but her senior crew members escaped unscathed. And now it seems like bringing the firebrand's crew to justice doesn't matter to anyone but me. So I want you to kill them. And I'll pay you out of my own pocket if you do. The firebrand had a mascot, a useless little bastard, who's taken to calling himself Lord Admiral Imp. He's not terribly dangerous on his own, but he's keen to make a nuisance of himself wherever he goes. Last I heard, Lord Admiral Imp was making himself comfortable in Queen's Berth. You'll find him there with a few zarops and constructs, the little buggers convinced to follow him. Bless their simple hearts. You'll be taking down Lady Ipiro, Captain Henqua's former first mate and a rumored lover. She's a cipher, and a dangerous one at that. Ipiro maintains an estate in Serpent's Crown in Neketaka. But I wouldn't recommend you rush in muzzles blasting and swords held high. She keeps a number of bodyguards on her payroll. You'll be going after Katren, the firebrand's resident wizard. Rumor has it, she was once an apprentice to Arkemir before turning pirate. Last I heard, Katren and her sundry little minions could be found lazing about the sacred stair here in Neketaka at night. No idea where she disappears off to during the day. I have a challenge for you, my friend. And his name is Torkar. leader of the Firebrand's boarding parties. He's an ogre, with a reputation for cleverness and cruelty both. I've even heard tell it was Torkar who was behind the Firebrand's most successful tactics, not Henkwa. Torkar was last seen at Lifte's refuge here in Dunnage, dead set on joining a crew, or assembling his own. I trust you won't let that happen. It's nothing personal. The crew earned their reputation through murder and thievery, and it would make me sick to see them regain an ounce of their power. There's no need to make my concerns your own, my friend. It's family business, that's all. But I suppose you have a right to know. My idiot kid sister was on the Firebrand, seduced to a dishonest life by the promise of adventure. When the pirate hunters killed the crew and sank the ship, they also killed my sister. But those irredeemable lowlifes I sent you after got away without a scrape. I want them to pay. I don't much care how, so long as they take their turn on the wheel. Happy hunting.
Indeed.
Welcome to my emporium. Whatever you need, I sell. What would you like to buy today? I do now. I started out with only one stall and eventually branched out, buying out my competitors one by one.
The Watcher is a regular ship hunter's ship hunter.
Aye. Anyone who kills that many Valine trading bastards is a right hero of mine.
My good lady, hello. Whatever might I do for you? I'm certain there's no need to tell you, observant as you no doubt are, that I am an actor. Stage, tavern, street corner, they are as much my home as where I lay my head at night. So, I travel Aora, looking for opportunities to share my gifts with the grateful masses, wherever that may lead me. The common folk do so love an actor. We bring mystery and excitement to their otherwise dreary lives. Yes, you could say we're doing the gods' work. How dare you? But you're not wrong, to my great chagrin. Times have been tough of late, what with the giant statues smashing up the place, and few in the Deadfire have coin to spare besides. It's quite difficult, you know, living as I do. On occasion, foolish folk will take my act for reality. I've thrice been run out of a town for impersonating a foreign dignitary. Damn fools don't understand the blistering wit of my satire, I tell you. I had to learn to protect myself as a result, though I must admit, what martial skills I've got aren't of use for much more than fighting off wolves, or throttling a thief with designs on my satchel. Thank the gods, I hardly ever need to use them. I could talk myself out of nearly anything, you know. Well, thank you. I must say it's gratifying to be recognized for one's talents. All things being equal, I'd much rather recite a sonnet than swing an axe, but a man's got to make his way in the world any way he can. I would be honored, but a man needs to make a living, you know. So, for my services, how about 3,000 copper? You know where to find me if you change your mind. May luck accompany you on the road, my friend.
Indeed.
My old captain was a drinker from the day born to the day he died. Always he was thin. He wound up with a wooden leg, 26 ships, and a bilious fever. Welcome to the treasure trove, sailor. Anything in my trove catches your eye, you let me know. All right.
Andra's gills! There's no hope. That was a disaster of epic proportions if ever I directed one. A typhoon couldn't have cleared out our audience faster. What's wrong? I'll tell you what, everything. My troop's coming apart at the seams. We're short on cash, we're low on people, and we've run plumb dry on enthusiasm. We haven't drawn a decent crowd in more than a fortnight. And it ain't like pirates are hard to please. That's how you know the show really stinks. But I think I know what the problem is. We've got a lack of flair. If only I could hire more talented performers. I just know my play would take off. Only the biggest thing to hit the Deadfire since the Vailian Trading Company started hunting us like sea hounds. I'm talking about Aethus storming through the archipelago and capsizing nearly a whole fleet of our ships. A better Aethus, for one. I'm the tallest one in our troop. I'm still not very convincing, even when I bother to dye my skin blue. Also, our special stage effects aren't all that special anymore. We had someone for that role, but she got herself into debt and has a new job at the King's Coffin. Really? Well, that's great. Then we could... Wait a tick, why would you help me? What do you get out of this? With you helping me acquire the right talent, I'd wager it's going to be phenomenal. I'm in desperate need of 2 more performers, a wizard for one, plus any oaf big enough to pose as Aethus. I happen to know a wizard of the finest skill set who already performs here in Dunnage, Taerna at the King's Coffin. But unfortunately, I got no idea of where we might find a suitable Aethus. Get me the right people for the parts, and I promise you'll be pleased with your investment. I'll turn us a profit or die trying.
If it's a drink you're wanting, I got enough What are you having? I'll pour you a double.
Hey, Shodi. Those dreams of yours, they still getting to you?
I can deal with the dreams, for better or worse. What makes me sweat is the not knowing. What happens when I stand face to face with my God, and he reveals what he intends for me? What if it's not as I thought?
Yeah, I've had thoughts like that for a long time. Except now I'm worried about what he intends for the world.
Whatever it might be, at least we'll face it together.
Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? What? I'm no actor. And besides, I can't barely see nothing as it is. Intimidating I can do. Reciting a bunch of namby-pamby lines is going to be the trickier part, but I'm game to try. Turn me in the right direction, and I'll make me way to the Radiant Court.
Welcome back, patron. I so hope you enjoy the performance. I'd be happy to go back working for her, except I owe Harker over there a good deal of money. Stupid dice went cold at the wrong time. Until I pay him what I owe, 700 pyres, I'm not going anywhere. Don't give it to me, give it to Harker. Knowing him, he'll tack on a few extra expenses just to spite me. I can't fathom why you're doing this, but I thank you all the same.
Look there.
What can I do for you? Got to you, did she? The woman can spot a soft-hearted mark from 50 paces. Like a sixth sense or something. Remarkable. Here's the thing, though. It's more profitable for me to keep her under my thumb, so sweet as your offer is, you can keep the money. Unless there's something else you need, I think we're done here. That's a shrewd observation. Maybe you're not so easy a mark after all. Tierna's free to go. What can I do for you? Sure do. And at a generously discounted price too. 250 pies. Be careful you don't get any of it in your eyes. Burns like a mother. Oh, burns like you wouldn't believe. Wouldn't wish that sting on anybody. Not even my worst enemy. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Endless thanks for taking care of my debt. See you at the play.
Damn my gut. Just kill me now. Lost my God's darn soul in stupidity. Aldred, save me now. Oh, usually I'm a sailor, but lately I've been sick as a dog and no good to anyone.
Well, well, if it isn't Arker's new business partner, that's quite a lot of coin you two exchanged. Right. We all know Arker's been itching to come out of retirement and claim a bigger slice of Dunnage for himself. Eyeing a seat on a council, I bet he is. Think I'll send him your head, as a reminder to stick to selling grog and flea-infested beds.
Stand together.
Come on!
I'd be glad to.
A repeat customer. I like your type. What can I stock you up with today?
Thanks muchly for bringing Taerna back to us. Her storm and weather spells will really strike an atmosphere for the play. And now that we've got a real big brute for Aethys, we can put on a proper play. Stick around for the performance. I think you'll be plenty pleased. Ladies and gentle pirates, and rapscallions too, you are in for the truest of mental treats. Without further ado, I present the Green Menace. Let us begin with our valiant new blood crews, the Lusty Rudder and Fortune's Folly. 2 ships adrift at sea for weeks and weeks on a venture most daring, in search of the uncharted islands.
Woe and torture. Months at sea with no treasure to show for it. You sure these uncharted islands exist, Captain? We ain't seen land for days.
Were they easy to find, they'd be called the Chartered Islands, wouldn't they? If you're thinking to mutiny...
Land ho! Land ho! Got a lumpy-looking island coming on the horizon.
That's no island. That be the Green Menace. We're doomed for sure.
Souls and gold and glory, you will give these to me. For I am a god among gods, and a true menace upon the seas. Souls and gold and glory. Blame the dawn stars, for they have summoned me. And now, I must feed.
Twill be the end for us, it will. Oh, Andra, take me now.
And that's the story of how Aethys sank a fleet of our best tars. Like the floating hangman, you see the Green Menace coming, you sail the other way. Thank you. Donations and gratuity are greatly appreciated.
They love us, do you see? They God's damned loved us thanks to you.
Thanks again for your help. We couldn't have done it without you.
Sure.
Damn my gut! Just kill me now! Lost my god's damn soul and stupidity! Andra, save me now! Oh! Oh, God! He's coming out the other end now!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a change of bottoms.
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. Guard your back in Dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? I met Ferrante decades ago. Many years I sailed as his first mate before building my own humble fleet. When in the Principe, do as the Valians do. Unless, of course, you have no care for tradition or the continued sustainability of our way of life, like some filthy new blood. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new, by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you the latter was supremely by necessity, though perhaps I am ill-equipped to throw stones. As a casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the king's coffin. But you should watch yourself throughout the radiant court. Yes, our council of captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power, both politically and physically. Ferrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the second most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the second chair and I am the third. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes.
Ah, Watcher. Good, you have arrived.
I know that dimple. Had you in my sights once, but you've been down to lace your boot. It's the ones who get away that hurt the most.
A coincidence, surely. A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit. I hear you have a flair for the dramatic, or should I say, explosive antics? A magnificent way to settle one's disputes indeed. And you truly left Benoit's reputation in pieces. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation. That he did, indeed. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, There is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. A few somewhat crude ones. Not many who encounter the floating hangman live to tell the tale, or otherwise record it. This galleon, what likely remains of the Von Ferrus, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, Amica, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood. Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, Mom. Ready as I'm like to get me. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes, that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within, out of nowhere. Was a hunt. Not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end. Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it. Deny me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Von Ferrus of Old Valia. It belonged to our Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Gnasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care, me.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher. How very clever of you. Indeed, the White Kestrel and her crew were pledged to Aldis. However, it is not by virtue of Aldis that Selenia yet lives, and I would have that well remembered. I can be a generous leader, you understand. Truly. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Revan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Dakotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Revan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. Regrettably, I know little but this. He was an Adiran warrior priest of Bereth, and a significantly fervent one, if tales are to be believed. He chased our Dakotsi to the Deadfire, hunting her to, well, to her death. Shortly after slaughtering our brave paladin, the priest died, possibly of sickness, or perhaps from a festering battle wound. He was entombed in honor of his service to Berath in Neketaka's sacred stair. By all accounts, our Revan was a Darkotsi paladin who sailed to the Deadfire in order to safeguard a royal weapon of Old Valia. She is the epitome of Grand Valia, of magnificence, honor, and duty. Living or undead, she strives still to serve her charge. And yet, we know not why, but a Berethian priest called Isir opposed our Revan, and fiercely. They fought to the death, Revans to be precise, in this very archipelago. Along with her life, Revan lost the sword she had sworn to protect. It has, lamentably, remained unfindable since. I believe it may be why she searches the seas yet. Indeed, I do. Though I and mine cannot so openly venture into the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead, you, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas, correct? You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. Izair's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Revan. Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors. I will be waiting.
Of course. I'm sorry. Interesting.
The Juana have done well in this harsh environment. You must concede that.
They were before they gave their territory to the Valiant. Stop acting like a fish out of breath and say what's on your mind already.
The dignity of the tribes runs through your blood, I say. But you disrespect our people at every turn.
Someone told me the water shapers controlled their emotions better than this. Guess they were off. If what I say disturbs you, ask yourself why before you paint me as the hypocrite.
Am I not? The Mataru have told me different my entire life, I say.
I can't decide if you're upset because I'm some kind of race traitor, or because the Juana are an embarrassment to these isles. While we stand around wasting all this time, a god probably just stepped on Fishboy's village. Wait, Takeyu, I didn't mean...
Kara, of course she did. Forget that I spoke.
A ship! I am saved! Deliverance at last. Weeks I've been stranded here. The Valiant Trading Company sends no one. Unless...
Diverus. The company's concerns are the Duke's concerns, which makes them my concerns. But saving your skin was not in my orders.
Then it is the will of gods and countrymen alike that I remain stranded. Ach, you understand. I only tarry here because my shipmates went to Pococohara to search for Luminous Adra. I worry that Ruano, the local chieftain, gave Captain Bez and my crewmates a false lead.
Or didn't know the way himself and was just trying to impress the outsider.
Ach, this is a terrible place. The captain was meant to return. We swim in hostile waters, ach. Ruano was the last to speak with the captain before she set sail. He squats in the hot northeast of that pitiful market. I would have joined her, but my stomach... something did not agree. Now it is weeks since they should have returned. I'm only the galley cook, not a search party.
I'd say he's one clove short of a bulb.
A cozy for my staring. It is unusual to see one of the locals so outfitted.
More unusual than a dwarf with no sense of direction?
Argrun. My grandparents gave up their nomadic ways when they moved to the Republics. But I see the appeal of staying in one place, one safe place. Agrasima, this is hope to my ears. Payment is assumed with the company. They are quick to buy what they do not have. When we landed on Tikawara, the chieftain gave us a welcome feast for the dukes. We feasted, danced, drank, and slept, only so we could feast, dance, and drink more.
Good to know your priorities were in proper order on company time.
Tell it to the captain. It was all her idea. Percom Planconet, music and ale are medicine for the soul. Even so, they did nothing to soften Anaharu. He said we had come to rob and plunder. He and Nairi turned the villagers against us.
Did you not come to plunder? Kara, I misunderstood your mission.
After that, we slept on the boat and took turns watching the shore. Except for me. I had to rest and recover, of course. But in the early hours, our lookouts Ruano and Anaharu disappeared together. I am sure I do not know. All I heard was that they left the village. And by the afternoon, only Ruano returned. Now no one here will even talk of Anaharu. Suspicious, no? Our captain was eager to leave before the winds changed again. The priestess. She imagines me in the jaws of our fish goddess. I know it. She lurks in the shrine next to that awful statue. I cannot stand her wicked looks, but if she does not scare you, then maybe you talk to her. I must watch the supplies at the trading post. You will come to check on me, yes?
It is a bad omen to have a priestess so young.
Age is no assurance of wisdom. Remember Anna?
Still your tongue. Amira's winds will surely carry your words.
Quit your chirping. I have no fish for you.
full tides. Himwihi and the other Mataru found them when they explored the island. Said maybe we train them to build. And if the soil and sea are misers here, then we eat them.
I do not believe I have ever experienced hunger so great that I would resort to eating lagufath.
The high tide is stingy with fish, and the low tide even more so.
Well, the fish do not swim to you, brother? Strange.
Akira, for Ngati does not bless us all equally. What more you need?
How about that?
Oh, filthy lizards. Even here I always smell them. An outsider in Tiquara? Who are you, stranger? A captain. If you had sailed downwind of the island, you would have moved on, I say. I tell Ranga Ruanu that the stench of Tiquara will drive away friend and outsider alike. Do you smell it? I speak of the Lagufath. There is no food on this barren island that those monsters do not steal. Always they circle our village looking for weaknesses. I push the cage with the young ones farther toward the beach, but I smell them even here. Better to keep them under our thumb than sharpening blow darts, I say. A week ago, I tracked the fish to Hoina Ravine. So I challenged the Mataru to a hunting competition. My mother's belt for the brood mother's head. It is not every day that newcomers land on our beaches. What say you show me how outsiders deal with Lagufath? Keep your eyes and ears open. The brood is daring when the mother is close. I'll have that fish woman's head mounted in my hut before long. The Ranga wanted a trading post. He said it will bring more Valians like the sweaty dwarf. Then they will bring food and supplies and their sweaty money. Always I stand here. This is no job for the Mataru. We hunt, fight, and lead. Someone must. What is there to hunt on this heap of rock and moss? No game, only Lagufath skulking in Hoina Ravine. Even the antelope know there is no fit home. The grasses are thin and the trees are like a child's bones. Small and soft. Even to build this, we must hike up the mountain for wood.
Village starves, and you hide Kowiki fruit?
I hide nothing, you bloated pufferfish. Traitor! Gatty's jaws will close around you!
Confess, Tamal, or will you let good food rot?
Does mine look like a full belly, idiot? Question the rest of the Raparu. We all hunger.
Disgrace. Any other Raparu has worked 10 times in a day what you have in your life, and they do not complain.
Watcher, we can't just let this injustice stand. Do something, or I might. You do? I mean, of course you do.
I say, this outsider speaks her mind like a Mataru. Akira, you must forgive my shock. Kith do not visit often, much less the gods. What do you make of this hagfish, huh? Will Tamao confess if I tighten the ropes? Pakeho caught this wretch stealing the last of the Koiki fruit. The tribe was to feast on it for a harvest ceremony.
The Koiki will reveal itself when you can smell it from Nekataka, I say.
I stole no Koiki, but I wish I had. I would have hid it somewhere most unpleasant.
You hear this? A second chance we give, and Tamao throws it in our faces. Lied and stolen? Akira. When we have food, he takes more than he deserves. He steals baskets and pots, and even pilfered a spearhead from a warrior on the hunt. I say there is no person in Tikawara who he has not wronged in some way. Maybe no person in the Deadfire. We would have eaten the last of the Koiki as a tribe. This way, we give our thanks to Kahopa, the eel of life. Now this cannot happen. Our harvest fails because this one puts his empty stomach higher than the gods. Akira, just so. To consume the fruit, seeds, and all. This is how we pray to Kahopa for bounty.
I say I deserve what others have in plenty. Shade, a full belly, a moment to kneel on cool sands. We stopped being a tribe when Ruanu dragged us into the path of the outsiders. Now we can only save ourselves.
You shame us, Tamao. To return in your next life as a coconut crab would be too kind. Hidden from all the sand crabs and liars, I say.
Akira, that is no work of mine. Though I want to see you lose a finger to the crabs, digging up the rest.
I say I'm beyond finished. For this I'll feed you to Ngati myself. With respect, it is not for you to question how I protect the tribe and appease the gods. Unless you think someone else is to blame. For what do you meddle in? Tamao goes nowhere. The gods are patient, I say.
I don't like this, Watcher. Is there nothing we can do to help?
You look at me for what? To watch me shrivel up in the sun? If only my brain and belly had coordinated, I say I would have tried sooner. Pakeho hates me because I insult his puny catches of fish. All he does is weigh down his boat. For this, he accuses me. Pakeho says I was skulking by the drying hut north of the Ranga's home. Akira, this is so. I would have taken the Kohiki, but it was already gone. It is said the Raparu share one empty stomach. Blame any of them, I say. The tribe drives me out like jerky because I am hated, not because I am a Kowiki thief. I have seen better days than this. I labor for the tribe, but our Ranga saves the best of everything for his warriors. For what does a warrior need with a full stomach when we are not at war? then maybe you ask someone with both feet on the ground. I need to conserve my strength.
Step back, all of you. You've all got the wrong idea. I'm waiting for a shipment of sailcloth from the homeland. Is that going to be a problem?
Then what say you about this? Coded gibberish, or I'm an Orlin.
Damn it. He's about 2 seconds away from starting a brawl. I've got to step in. One against a mob isn't exactly even. Ever heard of a fair fight?
Ha! Company warships blow our canoes to splinters, and you call us unfair? You foreign imps are all the same. As surely as sharks circle spilled blood, this one has been casting an unwelcome shadow on our village. We found coded documents in his quarters, and he defended himself with lies. Outsider spy. Because Rauatai hungers after these isles, like a tiger lurking in the tall grass and whetting its chops.
If you townies are dumb enough to go blundering into an alpha predator, you deserve what's coming to you.
Who are you to speak in his defense? And who is your traitor friend who postures like she is not one of us? Harama, we will have eyes on you. Cause no trouble.
I owe you thanks for that, stranger. Now here is a welcome sight. Is that little Ashiza? Hop over here, you old terror.
Ishi town. You don't know where he's been.
I would say that we should visit the closest tavern and toast to life, but for once I might be the odd man out.
It's not like that. Really. Captain, this is Harama. We were shipmates on the Flying Buttress.
That's a word for it. You could also say we were...
loyal servants of the homeland. That's enough out of you. Afraid this isn't a social visit. This comes from up high.
Atsura's up to his tricks again, I see. Thank you, Maya. I've been waiting for this. Maya, why is she asking?
Captain, later. I promise we can discuss it later. I guess we're done here. It's been, well, sort of like old times. In a good way.
Especially seeing you coming and going again. When the dust settles, maybe we could... Say no more. Good luck in your travels and other adventures. Ashiza, you keep your feathers clean.
I need to check in with Atsura. Mind if we take a detour to the Brass Citadel? Appreciate it. Atsura probably wants to make sure I'm not wasting too many resources on his little errand. Nothing to worry about.
Bye.